everyone, and welcome to Word on the Street, Juneteenth edition. So for this Word on the Street, I want to tell you what Juneteenth means to me, right? What Juneteenth, where I go in my mind as it pertains to Juneteenth. For me, Juneteenth is a reminder of what human beings are willing to do to exploit other human beings for their own personal gain and advantages. That's simply what Juneteenth is about, right? Folks were free. The president made the decision. It was the law of the land. And yet there were people who refused to allow those slaves to be free. They exploited them for their own personal gain. So on Juneteenth, I reflect on how exploitation is still happening today. Right? It looks different. It's evolved, right? It's less, brutal. But the impact is still quite significant. The disparities are still incredibly high, right? Folks are still being harmed in amazing ways in the workplace. And there are haves and there are have-nots. So on Juneteenth, what I challenge people to do is to think about the past, which is a hard pill to swallow for some, right? It's hard for people to remember that folks treated other human beings like animals, as property, exploited them, threw them away, and had no appreciation for their humanity at all. It's hard for people to kind of reconcile that in their minds, right? Black people, white people, and all other people. Sometimes it's very hard for us to process that. But we need to do that work. We need to process that information and then think about how today, if we are still engaging in exploitative practices for the purposes of capitalism, because capitalism is still here. Slavery existed in order to fuel capitalism. It was to extract as much as we could from human beings for the benefit of a small few. That's what it was about. So exploitation clearly still exists, right? So my challenge for you on June 20th, the Monday after Juneteenth, is to think about how it is that we might still be exploiting human beings in the workplace for the advantage of few at the expense of many. Okay? Our work starts now. It always has been here, but this is just, if you're celebrating Juneteenth, if you have the day off, I compel you to think about how it is that you can try to interrupt these patterns of exploitation, abuse, for the benefit of a few. Thank you for tuning into Juneteenth's edition of Word on the Street. I hope you all are doing well.